And Arena is up as the home map for the Czech Republic B. Let's turn off the fog of war, as that's a useless thing on a map like this. And right off the bat, I'm seeing quite an interesting base formation for LAN. That's usually pretty great if you are going to be slinging, but I don't really expect that to be the case right now for the blue player. And even though he is in the pocket, so he might be thinking about something like that. As I've said, on the Sci Nations Cup mod, there are some nerfs to slinging and to walling as well. So that doesn't seem to be all that likely, unless you are having really some kind of desperate strategy or some such, which I halfway think that CZs might be having. Wouldn't be surprised really by the double sling at all. I just have to repeat that. And if it happens, I called it. If not, yeah, well, I was wrong. So here we're gonna see who is going to be right or wrong and whatnot. In the meantime, of course, we're going to be having a bit of fighting apparently between Ralber and Draconti. So Draconti losing quite significant hit points on his scout, as the Cell scout is going to be catching after him, but not really any longer. And oh well, this might be a stolen board on Arena. Ralber, have you noticed? Oh, this was actually your board. Okay, so it would have been Draconti. And that was... Aha, yeah. Okay, so I was basically looking at it wrong. And that was probably Draconti trying to steal the board. But yeah, quite successful defense right now by Ralber. And that definitely did pay off. So right now he has to scout there, because that is, of course, still a danger of stealing, especially after their experience in the first game. And right now, well, Draconti is having both of them out. Yeah, that's not really all that great. This is going to be kind of tough. Yeah, why don't you actually stop the scout cavalry inside the gate? Yeah, right now he's coming for it. Exactly. Yep, nicely played. Going to be coming for the bar. And of course he's going to be sticking with the second also. Basically the same as his opponent at the bottom, because this needs to be as safe as possible. Losing the bar on Arena, that would be setting you back quite significantly. And oh well, that's actually not all that ideal. These berries in there, that's going to be one extra hit, I think. Even though he does have Loom, so he should be fine. Without Loom though, he will be probably toast already. That wouldn't be working all that well for him, but it is quite fine now. And let's check, for example, the other players if they are having some significant problems like that as well. Right now for Bulbasaur, it seems like that he's actually going to be waiting to push the deer inside the base, as he's having the gold in kind of unfortunate position next to gates in there. Usually you don't want that all that much because it's blocking the path and whatnot. As we are moving into another player, the last one from CZs, that's going to be Jarosa, and he is, well, gold. Kind of normal position for Arena. Second gold at the back, and the civilizations are Draconti Turks, Jarosa Persian, and Bulbasaur Mayan. Well, yeah, why not? I could see the double swing into the Turks. Why not? Let's see if maybe Ralber is going to be having an interesting game against Draconti. They were pockets, so that was a bit of a proxy fight in the last game. But this time they might be having a proper one even amongst themselves. Quite curious how this is going to go. Definitely the safe gold and safe stone is going to be quite helpful for Ralber, as the cells, Bart is Mayan and Lan Teuton. Interesting civilization or other choice of civilizations overall. You don't see any Aztecs and whatnot. Would be expecting maybe that somebody would be attempting some kind of monks and rush with them, but apparently not really the case all that much, as we are looking at a very nice base for Bart, as he's having big gold at the back and also another gold mine in there, so definitely nice help for him. And even though he will have to push the deer a bit more in a bit more complicated way, it's not really that bad. It's not really that bad either, but I definitely like that the opponents are quite close by and there is not really any kind of big nothingness in there, as there potentially could have been. But Lan is trying to steal a boar. Oh, well, that was nicely played right now by Jarosa, stopping the lure. Nicely played indeed, but he's still not out of the woods, because Bart was attempting that as well. Right now coming in, and oh yeah, he's going to be trying to actually stall the hunter. Already getting rid of the walls. This is really nicely played right now by Bart. And the villager, well, I was going to say that he's gonna be toast. And at this point, if I were Bart, I would be just attacking the villager already. Not really blocking. Nicely played. Really nicely done by Bart. And he's going to be attempting to counter steal it or not? Well, apparently not, because he's already dead. Draconti right now coming to help. So that was a bit of a unexpected action on Arena so early into the game, and even though this Eagle Warrior paid with his life, it was well worth it because he killed the villager from Jarosa. So yep, nicely done indeed. Nicely done. That's exactly what you want to do. Any kind of single and small advantage that you can get is going to be mounting up to something big a bit later on. Especially on a booming map like Arena, where literally every villager counts in the booming. And of course, right now Jarosa is going to be far away and far behind at 21. Ralber is not really better off. He's also at 21. But otherwise, because he's advancing also fast into the next age. Wow. There's apparently going to be some fun stuff going on. Well. Let's see about that. We are clicked into him, so we are gonna see what's gonna happen. Not really sure what's gonna be the idea. This is definitely save gold. It's not really that bad as it could have been. And maybe he's just gonna drop towers all across him. Definitely could be, because that's the only reason why he could be going for a lot of stone. Or he might be just attempting to drop a castle. Not sure. That's going to be watchtower. Unfortunately for him, not really effective at all. But yeah, why not? Why not go for it? Another tower is going to be in the middle, and villagers already coming in there. And the barracks as well. Oh, this is gonna be funny. And he's going to be discovering that the house is just going to be blocking the gate and reinforcing the walls in there. Oh man. Yeah, they definitely are expecting that something nasty is gonna happen with the Turk. Because usually that's what happens once you are going Turk on Arena. It usually means some pretty nasty business with slinging and whatnot. So, let's see. These towers coming all around, and they are going to be attempting to really just make sure. They are especially coming at the houses in there to basically prevent tower hops. Yeah, you build towers exactly in two corners so that you can actually put your army out of it into the opponent base. And there is another corner actually on the right. There is another corner on the right. I'm not exactly sure if this one is going to be working. Not entirely sure. It could, potentially, but not really sure about that all that much. He's potentially going to be trying either tower hopping across the wall. I've seen that happen, but that seems more like a bug, I think. Not exactly sure if it was actually original or on HD. Well, blue scouted, so this is definitely kind of interesting start to the game. And there's going to be tower right now coming into the pocket. Oh yeah, this is definitely the play by the Spanish. They want to tower hop. They want to tower hop all across, but they are well aware. And the problem is, because they were coming against Draconti, and that is exactly the expert player of Arena, of all the 6 players in this game, and he basically just knew right off what's gonna happen. So that's that. And fairly unfortunate right now. Fairly unfortunate, but they will have to take, or rather build a house in there as well. No, you need to build a house. Oh well, no, he's gonna, oh no. He hasn't realized actually what's happening. And Draconti hasn't apparently told him. Yeah, well. Yeah, we already know what's gonna happen. So let's see, that's just gonna be confirmation for us. It's not such a great idea, even though it's gonna help in defense in there. Not really that great. Trying to get rid of the tower, of course, it's gonna be interesting proposition and might be really working quite alright. And even though there was a bit of an opportunity to actually tower up in here, not gonna happen anymore, as those guys need to retreat from this position, because of course the reaction from Bulbasaur is going to be in the end enough. They're gonna get rid of the tower, and another tower is coming to the right, which is going to be just to basically annoy his opponent on the gold mine. And does he have something at the back? And just stone times 2. So nothing really all that great. And one is in the front of his base, which could potentially be his, if he wants to, because so far I don't think actually that Ralber knows. No, well, actually he does, sorry. But yeah, another tower is going to be coming up from both players, so nothing really like that is going to be helpful all that much. In the meantime, yellow still not doing anything all that much, just booming, coming into castle age as everybody else is as well. Jarosa going for a bit of booming. And are we seeing some markets? Yes, we are. And I'm gonna quickly check if maybe this link is going on. Apparently not. So it's going to be just a normal gameplay from all of them. And no really any kind of shenanigans, which is slightly surprising looking at the Turks in here. But yeah, they probably, or rather probably, they might have switched mid-game. Basically depending on what they were seeing in there. But yeah, That seems like that it should be basically quite enough to defend against what Ralbr was doing. And since Ralbr's efforts are not that efficient, even though they are not really useless all that much, they are still forcing quite some idols, especially from Bulbasaur yet again. Definitely not having a nice match. It should still mean really a bit more of a problem for Ralbr, because he has spent a whole lot of stone already on the towers. That's second, third, fourth, fifth, 6 towers. That was 6 towers already, I think. 5 or 6. That's a whole lot of stone and whatnot, with the castle age already in from Dragon T. Dropping the castle as the Turks, and he's going to be spamming a few Janissaries in there to go and annoy his opponents as fast as possible. Okay, so this tower is apparently not gonna get finished. Already some dead villages in there, as these dead villages are apparently from, unfortunately, Bulbasaur. That's going to be another tower attempted at the top to basically cover Dragon T as much as possible, but yeah, that's nothing really to shoot at. Just this one farm, potentially the second a bit later, but nothing more than that. And he's still in the castle age, or rather in the feudal age, just the last one, not into castle age. And even though his economy is growing quite well, he's actually second best, together with Yarosa at 37 villages. He needs to really keep in mind that right now he's going to be falling behind quite significantly, and we should be seeing the rise of the Turks against the opponents, especially with the Janissaries coming out of the castle just about now. Alright, so yellow finished with castle, defensive one, to help him in protection of his own base, as we are looking at Yarosa, who is still just booming. Good TC, of course, next to gold mine, and we are probably going to be waiting for him to drop as many villages as possible, and as soon as possible, so that he can get into Imperial Age and for the Paladins. That is what Persians do on maps like these. In the meantime, trying to control the gold still around Bulbasaur. But of course, with the big gold mine, he doesn't need all that much extra. He's just going to be dropping a castle about here as soon as possible. Is he getting gold or other stone already? Yes, he is, in pretty big numbers. So Bulbasaur coming, interestingly enough, for Watchtower. To be really expecting that he will be saving for castle. Not really sure why he would be just now dropping a tower when he can just go for the castle. Not sure. But he's gonna, of course, win the race for the tower, and it might help him get rid of the villages, at least one of those. Yep, that's a nice self in there. And exactly in time. So yep, that was potentially a good decision, but it's of course delaying his castle at least a bit. Yeah, already gotten rid of the tower next to the castle, as he's arriving. Oh, even in the enemy base, he has actually made his way through already. And that was because of, I'm not exactly sure, maybe there was a palisade just. Potentially could have been, because you can see already the deleted part of the wall, and it's not destroyed because of petards. So it was definitely just deleted by the player, and that could have been that he was just going out for, I don't know, maybe there was hunt, even though I remember the hunt being in the middle, yeah, in the middle of his base, but maybe going for the gold, but didn't work out all that much. Towers already inside his base, so that he's protected as much as possible, and protective wall inside his base as well, so he's gonna need assistance pretty soon, as those Janissaries are just going to be killing him all around. Mustn't forget that purple is going to be joining with teal. So apparently they're believing that Dragon T is going to be just fine alone at the top. And I have to say, probably why not, because Lan should be helping him quite fully. And even with the help, it's not like it's going to be 2 versus 1, because Ralbr is pretty much out of the game right now altogether. It's not really in any kind of great shape, even though the economy is not that far behind Dragon T. The age still is, and it's going to be for quite some time longer. He doesn't have market, so not going to be even attempting any kind of slaying. And of course, right now, if Red plays it correctly, potentially could be killing a few villages. If he went about the backside, I think he could be shooting at the stone miners. But yeah, we'll be seeing pretty soon, I guess, as those green guys are going to be in a pretty dangerous spot, has to be said. Because if they are forgotten in here, and the opponents, the Czech Republic B, actually built about of here a wall about from here to here and go for some kind of trade route on the right side, I could be nastily surprised by some dropped castle or whatever inside the trade route. Yeah, that wouldn't really be great at all. As right now, yellow is finally arriving with the plumed archers and getting rid of at least a few archers. Rather few villagers, but not really anything all that great, because of course the town center is pretty decent protection in there. In the meantime though, we mustn't forget that the Janissaries are also coming all around the base. And even on top of that with some petards. That's one. Is second already coming in? No, just some idlers. That's unfortunate. Could be helping. And where does he actually want to breach? Barracks coming up. He's Teuton, so he should be probably switching into stables and paladins. That was almost the whole wall. Stables coming up. And they might not really be that effective. Even though he's coming into Imperial, Janissaries are very, very strong. Even normal hand cannoneers can deal with knights. And even with cavaliers when they are in proper numbers. But yeah, this was kinda... Didn't really like that all that much, because of course, since he's taking time getting through the walls, he has basically bought time to blue to prepare, and he's going to be coming through another row of walls. Which is absolutely horrible, but at the same time it also means that actually blue cannot help. He cannot help either blue, or rather either green or yellow, just the colors all around. Trebuchet already coming in, and that really might help, especially at the top, if he has second flank of Janissaries coming into green, and that could be really helping him and killing basically green altogether. But I'm not exactly sure if it's going to be up to that, especially right now looking at Bart, already shooting at the castle and having pretty decent army of Plumtachus himself, already coming for the tower to prevent the gold gathering from the big gold. But yeah, luckily for Jarosa and Czech Republic B, they are still having one gold mine at the back. But let's see for how much longer this is going to be relevant, because this is a really nice idea from Bart. Yeah, and even though you would be probably liking a bit more a castle in there, this tower is going to be quite enough for the time being. Still a bit of booming going on, but he needs to protect the castle. He doesn't have the villagers apparently in there. That's quite unlucky, and yeah, he literally doesn't have... Oh yeah, these three. He should be already repairing, because of course, once he loses the castle, that's a huge investment lost. In the meantime, green is right now arriving in the middle of the map, trying to secure a position in there, and also somehow enlarge his base a bit. At least a bit, and enlarge his base. Unfortunately for Ed, he has basically let himself be trapped. And see the finished wall in there. As the Janissaries inside Blue's base are just now gonna get killed, because they are just in too low numbers, whereas the cavaliers to be from Lan are getting up in numbers quite significantly. That's going to be actually a pretty hard battle on the right. Lan with Bard, that's going to be a pretty nice combo. Cavaliers with Plumtachus against... Well, right now just nothing. Because Steel is not ready with anything all that much, just now coming for the stables. And the Cavaliers, so it's going to be a bit later. Not really by much, but it has to be said that right now Purple is not ready for anything at all. Just coming for the castle now. That's going to be just a huge, huge outage. Huge outage in the production of the army. And yep, not really good news. Even though he's receiving some tribute from Jarosa, a bit of food to actually get his army up, it's probably going to be quite a bit late. And Bart is already going to be full inside his base. And with the trebuchets and not really any kind of significant defense by Jarosa, it might be just a bit too easy right now for the Spain A to deal with Czech Republic B. Alright, at the top, already a bit of assistance lent by Lan to Ralber, who is trying to defend himself, and Janissaries are already coming where? Not into Blue's base, but Blue is definitely right now in Teal's. And the economies are for Jarosa 122, that's nice boom. 68 for Dragon T, Bulbasaur 84. Whereas the opponents, BYT aka Spain A, are at 125, 47, 59. They are having curiously weak economies, especially Bart. Especially Bart. Which makes it all that much more actually interesting. That CZs are having such significant problems, and they are not able to deal with the threat all that much, because basically Bard, this is all his army that he can make, and if he loses this, then he's going to be having significant problems actually recuperating. Well. Not really enough numbers, so right now definitely they could use some siege, like some rams. They should be coming up soon rather than later, because of course that's going to be only thing that can possibly help them. against all those plume dodges in there. Otherwise, yep, this is definitely wreckage right now of Teal's economy, and that's not something that I, as a fan of the Czech Republic team, wanted to see. Right now he has dropped already about 10 to 15 villages. Definitely not anything great all that much, and even though he sent resources right now back by Bulbasaur, not looking great, especially looking at the top right now. It seems like the Dragon Tea is not going to be significantly fast enough. Wow. Yeah, well, okay. So Dragon Tea has just been deleted, and right now GG is coming in. As yet, this is unfortunately a bit too strong push. Bit too strong push into CZs, and even though they seem to be ready with the economies, I really think that Bulbasaur letting the castle die so easily and not really rebuilding his second one already before was basically the reason, because it meant that Bar didn't have any kind of opposition in enemy plume dodges, and the Knights, aka Cavaliers from Lan, well, even though Jarosa did have his numbers, he was just alone against two, and that just couldn't have worked all that well. And to just top it off, well, this double shot of the Mangonel to get rid of all the Anissaries from Dragon Tea. Yeah, well, that was interesting stuff from Green, which didn't really pan out all that well. But in the end, CZs couldn't really capitalize on it, and the very nice boom from Lan and the timely ejection and introduction of all the Cavaliers inside into the battlefield paid off and won them the match and also advanced into the next round. So congratulations, nicely done, and well deserved advance by Spain E, or rather Spain A, not E, Spain A. Let's check the post game then. So, Lan 6920. Yeah, well, I think so. I think he was playing really well. He exactly when he was needed in the battle, when it was looking kind of fishy for the Spanish team, he was there, and that's all you require from your pocket. But I also have to bring up Bard. With such low economy, he was really managing his army so well, not really having any kind of losses, and he was just a bit too strong, even for the well-boomed Jarosa with Bulbasaur. Also, being alright-ish prepared, but not as well as potentially the Spanish were in the end. Good advance into the Imperial Age at 25. Not bad. Okay, GG.